David, I think that we do actually have Richard on the line. If we could have him join the conversation.
I am here.
Yeah. Richard, welcome to Take Action News. We got to ask you, it was a terrific piece. I was just telling everybody to read your piece. Where the hell is the outrage? Tell me a little bit about what prompted you to write it, and what have you seen that has gotten under your skin, at least over the last couple weeks or months on this issue?
Well, I think what we're seeing is a surprising absence of organized outrage, I guess is the way I would put it, in terms of the enormous transfer of wealth that's going on between the rich and the poor in this country. And, I contrast that with what's going on, for example, in Brazil right now. And I think that I think the point is well taken in terms of expectations versus results. Brazil is a country that is seeing a real rise away from poverty, real economic growth, but that makes it much more visible to the people there what's being done and what isn't being done. So here we have the opposite situation where the only contrast between expectations and reality that's making people angry is happening among the 1%, where we saw it in the Mitt Romney video, is raging about the 47% and the takers and all that. The wealthy have become so accustomed to seizing the assets of this country that they're the only ones getting angry when in any way they feel denied their due. But in this country, instead, what we're seeing is a situation where both parties seem satisfied to accept the prospect of long-term unemployment at enormously high rates for at least the next 5 years without any. There was a time people would march in the streets at that idea, and yet people are accepting it. People's expectations have been battered down. So I think the piece was really created as a way of kind of stepping back and saying, let's stop talking about what the Republicans are proposing versus what the Democrats are proposing for a 5 to 7 year timeline for bringing this unemployment curve down or whatever, and really ask ourselves, why the hell aren't we rising up about this? This is absolutely unacceptable in a time of ever-increasing wealth for the few. Why aren't we doing something about it? I guess that's a long way of answering your question, David.
Well, and I guess the next question in the final minute and a half, 2 minutes we have in the segment, what is it that, short of a lot of people aren't comfortable for whatever reason getting out in the streets, so they don't have time, what is it that people can do if they've got 5, 10 minutes each day? What can they do? Is it talking about this issue? Is it pushing for something like campaign finance reform so the role of corporations in our politics is muted somewhat? I mean, are there steps short of marching in the street that you think can help this?
I think, number one, there's a step that people can do every time they sit at their television or read a magazine, which is they can stop internalizing this, what they used to call the oppressor consciousness, this idea that I have to have the kind of money that Kanye or the Kardashians or whomever has. They can stop thinking in terms of the consumer craving that's being programmed into us morning, noon, and night, number one. And number two, if you've got 5 minutes, write the president, write your senators, write your representative, and say that this situation is unacceptable.
Richard Eskow. Richard, it is simply a terrific piece, a must-read piece in the Huffington Post. We hope that you'll continue to keep them coming and that you'll join us on future programs here on Take Action News. And thanks so much for sharing part of your weekend with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Richard Eskow, folks. It is, look, if all you can do, folks, is simply read something about this and talk to your friends over the water cooler or at soccer practice about this, print out Richard's piece and give it to them. Start the conversation right there. We're going to talk with our very own Cliff Schechter from We Act Radio on the other side of this break. One of the things that I think corporations and folks in the right are able to do is essentially use their power to misinform people, and somebody who's at the top of that chart in the media, Bill O'Reilly. A lot of folks describe him as the misinformer-in-chief. We think that we got perhaps an accurate view of his real policy perspectives on women this week. We'll explain what we mean on the other side of this break. You're listening to Take Action News on We Act Radio.